Hey everyone, Selena here, founder, host, lead educator with the American Crochet Association. I'm also sharing this with my Selena Baca Crochet community. So if you're watching live, come on over, say hey, say hello, tell me where you're viewing from. I went on a really exciting trip over the summer with my family. We drove from Oregon down to Nevada. And I saw that along the way we were going to be driving through Reno. And I don't know why I know this, but I know this. I don't know. I know that Jimmy Bean's Wool has a yarn shop there, and I was like, we gotta stop in there on our way. And I thought it was just going to be like a quick stop in, 30 minutes, something like that, and we would just kind of go about our merry way. And it turns out this is probably one of my favorite yarn shops I've ever been to. And I was so inspired by it that, I wrote some words about it. And I'm really excited to share this with you. So that's what this is. I do have a link to this post in the video description. So after you watch the live, you can click on over and you can see all of the things that I'm talking about. And I've got links and details and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a thing. It's a thing. But again, I'm so excited about it. I got some pretty cool things that I wanted to share with you guys. And you guys may want to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this post because there's something special if you guys watch it in the near future. And that's all I'm going to say for now. Okay. All right. So before we dive into all that, it looks like quite a few of you guys are here. So let me say hey to everybody before we dive in. It looks like my friend Dawn is here. So good to see you. Angela, I'm doing very well. Hope you are too. Ashley is here. Hello, Ashley. Stacy is here. Watching from Iowa. It's been a while since I've been able to catch you live. I know it's like the summer months, and I've just been doing so many other things that I just don't share. I don't jump on the internet and chat with anybody, but here I am. I'm jumping on the internet and I'm chatting with everybody. So if you are here and you catch me live, that's fantastic. We can make it a fun conversation, but the replay is going to be just as good, I promise. All right. I love the replay. All right. It looks like Kimberly is checking in from the UK. Amy McKeever, another one of my favorite crocheters, is here. So good to see you. Let's see who else is here. And Victoria, hey to you. Good to see you. All right, guys. Okay, so let me know off the bat if you are here watching again, whether you're here on the live or the replay, does not matter. Just play along like you're here live. All right. Have you ever heard of Jimmy Bean's Wool? Raise your hand. Yes, no, maybe. All right. Okay. So I don't know why. Maybe just because yarn is kind of my life, crochet is kind of my job and my life. I don't know why. For some reason, I've just always known about Jimmy Bean's Wool. I've never lived near them. I've never lived in Reno. Anything like that. So I don't know why they keep coming up on my radar. It's probably because they are a local yarn shop, but they focus on global distribution. So you do not have to live in Reno to get the best that Jimmy Bean's Wool has to offer. And again, there's links and details, and that way if you want to check them out, you totally can. So again, for probably the last 10 years, Jimmy Bean's Wool has been on my radar. I've worked with them in the past on a couple things. We've collaborated. We've done some stuff. I think they're pretty cool, right? I dig them. So again, when we were driving down on our family vacation this summer, we went straight through Reno. And I was like, if it's on the way, if it's okay, if it's not out of the way, I totally want to stop here. But that's totally something I do whenever we're on road trips, whenever I go to a new town. I'm like, is there a yarn shop here? Because if there is, I gotta dip in there real quick. So that's just something that I do whenever we're just kind of out traveling anyway. So, I was like, if it's convenient, I'd love to stop in. So super easy to find right off the highway. So if you are in Reno, if you're driving around the area, so easy to find, tons of parking, really easy part of the area to kind of find, very industrial, not complicated. Sometimes I go to local yarn shops and it's like, it takes a little bit of a trek. It's worth it every time, but that's not the case in this one. So very easy to find, very easy to track down. Tons of parking. And I remember we drove into the parking lot and I was like, I'll be like 30 minutes, right? Like 30 minutes, I know what I'm doing, it's fine. I've seen yarn before. We're not going to be here long and then we'll go have lunch. Right. So I walk in the door And I've been to, I don't know, 100 local yarn shops in my life. I've been to some yarn shops, right? And typically for a yarn shop, like whenever you walk in the door, you can kind of see how big it is. And some local yarn shops, it's like, oh, it's like the size of a living room, or, okay, it's this room and that room. And all right, cool. You can kind of get the scope of it. So immediately upon walking in Jimmy Bean's Wool Yarn Store, there is just so much to see. There's so much to look at. There's so many different displays. There's so many different rooms. Like, I just stood there in the doorway and I just was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I was pulled in literally every direction. I probably just stood in the entryway for like, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5 minutes, just going, wow, that's cool. Oh my gosh. Like, and I did not know where to start. I don't usually do this. What I mean by that is I don't usually take pictures of things. Usually when I'm out doing things, I'm out doing things. Like, my phone it's got its own thing, I'm not out like with my phone taking pictures all the time, right? But I walk in the door and it's so beautiful and there's so much to look at that I'm like, where's my phone? I got to take some pictures of this. And it just turned into me. Like, I walked around Jimmy Bean's yarn shop. I'm not even kidding you. For like 2 hours. I'm not even kidding you. And I was just like, picture. Oh, that's pretty. And I did that for 2 hours. I'm not kidding you. I had to peel myself out of there after 2 hours because I was like, oh yeah, we're supposed to eat lunch and my family's like waiting in the car like patiently. So that has never happened to me before. I have never gone to a yarn shop and spent more than 45 minutes, an hour, tops. So, I mean, it was so nice. It was just really just such a great place. It was so beautiful and clean, and it was just so fun to navigate. And there were so many different and new yarns. There were so many yarns I've heard of that, I haven't seen in person or haven't seen in person in a really long time. So that was a lot of fun. I really loved that. So there it is. Okay, I spent 2 hours in there. I saw tons of stuff. I took tons of pictures. I just kind of took some of the best of the best. And I wrote up an article for the American Crochet Association just because, again, I was just like, if I go, I go. If not, that's fine. Like, they didn't know I was coming. It's not like some planned collab or anything like that. I went, I genuinely loved it. I had a great time there. I saw some fantastic things. And it was just kind of like, in my opinion, a great model of what I would love to see local yarn shops be. It was just, there was it was a huge space. There were tons of different fibers. There were tons of different kits. There were tons of different samples. There was an entire classroom. So if you are local, you could see about taking classes there. It had a great space for that. That was kind of like a little out of the way. And that way you're not like you're in the yarn shop, but it's a little out of the way. It's not like, people are kind of like have to shop around you while you're kind of learning. So it was just this really nice little side piece over there. While I was kind of doing this write-up for Jimmy Bean's, I was just having fun looking at their website and looking at what they do and how they do it and where they do it, just because I thought, man, this space is so good and they are a global distributor. Like, what? I've got to be missing some stuff, right? The more I read and the more that I looked into Jimmy Bean's Wool as a company, it just made me like them even more. Just one great example of that, was that I was just kind of looking at, who are the people behind Jimmy Bean's Wool? It's a really big company. I didn't realize how large of an entity it was. And you can kind of meet the team and see who's there by, again, just click on the link in the video description. It gives you all those details. But what I loved was that, they've got a team there, and it's not just like, so-and-so, Jane Doe works here, and they are our global distributor of yarn fibers. And it's like, I guess I know what that means. I don't really know what that means. I mean, I guess they do have job titles like that, but just the fun continues even with these job titles, and I picked some of my favorites. These are actual job titles on the Jimmy Beans Wool website with like pictures next to them, and I thought it was great. One job title is the know-it-all. Who wouldn't love to have that job? I mean, that's kind of my job now in my life, but like, that's great. Yarn snatcher, content cowgirl, wholesale witch. I'll take that one too. I love it. And the glue. What? Like, who comes up with these? I loved it. Anyway, I think it's just indicative of what kind of culture they have. Just everybody that works there, you know, whether I've just seen their faces on the internet or I saw them in person, they just seem to genuinely love being part of Jimmy Beans Wool and what they do. And it just really seems like the kind of company to where everyone is involved in making the yarn world like a fun and new and interesting and inviting place. And that's what I'm about, 100%. I'm all about helping crochet just to continue to be passed through the generations in better hands than we found it. And you know, a lot of that is just, hey, do people feel included? Do they feel like they belong? Does the space make people feel like they belong? You know, all of that. It's just a sense of belonging. It's in the fiber of who you are, pun intended. And so, I don't know, it was things like that that just made me go, I gotta write words about this. So it was just seeing things like that that just made me want to write this article even more. All right, I'm going to chat a little bit more, but it looks like quite a few of you guys are still here, so I just wanted to stop and just say hey to a few more of you. Ashley, Selena, you have a birthday person. My son, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. If it is, thanks for chiming in on your birthday. I hope you have great plans today. Victoria says, we don't have anywhere like that where I am. Sadly, Hobbycraft does not compare. That's a UK thing, right? I think I've been to Hobbycraft. Janet is here from Missouri. Good to see you. Darlene is here from Florida. And I think that's it. I think that's all the heys and hellos. Sorry, I monologued for a really long time. So if you guys are joining live, come on over, say hey, say hello, tell me where you're viewing from, all that kind of stuff. If you guys want more information on where Jimmy Beans Yarn is located, if you want to go visit them in person, I've got those details. But again, they are a global retailer. So I've also found details about where they ship. So, and you know, where they ship and what those prices are. So you can get all those details no matter where you live. You can get it straight from them. So Jimmy Beans Wool sells yarn, of course. But I didn't realize how much yarn they sold. And this is some of this, you know, some of what I'm about to share is just kind of like my opinion or my, just my perspective. So typically whenever I go to a local yarn shop and there's more than one local yarn shop in a particular area, like for example, my town has 2 local yarn shops within like a 5-mile radius. And it sounds like, because I know both the owners and I've heard them chat, it sounds like they try not to compete with the same exact yarns. So, you know, one shop will get these brands and that shop will get these brands. And that way they're not like in direct competition with each other. So what I mean by that is, and the reason I'm sharing that perspective is that local yarn shops don't have like a huge supply of tons of different yarns. Sometimes local yarn shops will have like yarns that you've heard of and you kind of see a lot, and some of them will have a bunch of local stuff, and you know, some will just kind of have a mix. So Jimmy Beans Wool, according to their website, and I didn't count, but I can totally see it just browsing their shop. It says that they have over 217 varieties of yarn. And that includes brands like Blue Sky Fibers, Brown Sheep, Cascade, Hedgehog Fiber, Malabrigo, Noro. Jimmy Beans has their own yarn, lines of yarn, a few of them. I'll tell you guys more about that in just a second. Including their newly created Yarn Citizen yarn. I've got some. I'm going to show you guys in just a minute. So excited. So 217. And I was trying to find more specific details because there's some things that I'm like, I feel like I know this is a fact, but I couldn't verify it. So maybe it's not a fact. Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. But I feel like Jimmy Beans Yarn owns quite a few companies. So, and I think one of them is Madeline Tosh. And I think that there's a few other lines that they've acquired through the years. I think Madeline Tosh is one of them. And the reason that's important is that Madeline Tosh is available in so many yarn shops. Like, I think it's been at almost every yarn shop I think I've ever gone to. It is a gorgeous yarn. Typically Madeline Tosh, whenever I'm splurging like on something beautiful, like on a single unit of yarn, typically whenever I do that, it's a Madeline Tosh. Like, I probably have like 30 different hanks of Madeline Tosh, and some of them I've used and some of them are just too beautiful and they're just decoration, and maybe I'll use them someday, I'm not sure. But seeing that one of the displays at Jimmy Bean's Wool was, I think, almost all the colors of Madeline Tosh. I don't know how many colors there are, but there are a lot of colors. This is one of their yarn. This is one of the yarn walls, and you can kind of see the yarn wall. Can you see it over here? Yeah, I just took so many pictures. Maybe it's somewhere. I took so many pictures. This is just a portion of one of the yarn walls. This is like a third or a fourth of the Madeline Tosh yarn and colors. Like, amazing. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so they have tons and tons and tons and tons of yarn, but that's not all they have. They have knitting supplies, they have crochet supplies, they have project kits, they have patterns. So there's tons of resources. There's tons of things that you can find on their website and in their store. And yeah, it's really worth checking out. While I was kind of poking around on their website, I found some really cool things that, in my opinion, aren't advertised enough. And I'm like, how have I didn't know about this. How did I not know about this? Like, it's my job to be out here in the yarn world every day, and I didn't know this. So I really wanted to share some really interesting things that I found on their website, and I've got direct links for each one of them. They have a scholarship opportunity. You can read more about that and get all the details when you click on over. They have a broken needle exchange. Their website, at the time that I wrote this article, talks about a broken needle exchange, even if you ordered your needles elsewhere. I mean, they specifically said needles for knitting, but I don't know if that has if that overlaps in any way in the crochet world. I'm not sure. So click on over and check it out. They also have a brand new tool, and I was checking it out and I really enjoyed it. It's called Project Sketchbook. And the reason I liked it is that, yeah, and you'll just have to click on over and check it out. It's really cool. So whenever I buy yarn online, I'm really terrible with picking colors that go together. I'm really good at picking all the colors that I like. I'm like, ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. And they don't always go together. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's too much, or oh, that doesn't go together. Like, I like all these, but they do not go. And that's typically why I just stay in really bland color combinations. So this Project Sketchbook allows you to put different yarn colors together to where you can see them all side by side. And it was really easy to do on product pages. So I'm not tech savvy. I'm not computer savvy. The internet makes me cry sometimes because we don't get along. It makes me feel dumb. But this was really easy to use. And what I enjoyed about it is typically, again, whenever I'm buying yarn, sometimes I'm like, ooh, let me add all these to my cart. And then when they're in my cart, I can see whether or not I like them together. But typically in a cart, it just shows this, this vertical alignment. And it's like you can't see all the colors together. You can only see a line of colors. So it's like, how do I think they look good? I don't know. So what I like about the Project Sketchbook is it allows you to kind of like put all of these different things together to see what they look together. So anyway, it's definitely worth clicking on over and checking out because it's an all-in-one place to see like what colors and what yarns can kind of help you build a project. Okay, so a few of my favorite things about Jimmy Bean's Wool were products, and I'm going to show you those in just a second. But I really want to give a shout out to the shopkeep there. The shopkeep is, the person who makes the shop run, makes all the displays look good. God, look at this. See, that's what I was talking about with all. That isn't even all the yarn. That isn't even all the Madeline Tosh yarn. That's just a portion of it. So the shopkeep was this lady who was so nice. Again, after spending more than an hour in Jimmy Bean's Wool, they checked on me a couple times and they were like, oh, are you looking for anything specific? No, I'm just kind of looking around. Oh, well, make sure you check out this and check out that. And this is why this is interesting. And this is why this is interesting. And it was just enough. It was just enough to make me go, oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, thanks for showing me that. In a really warm and nice and welcoming way. Sometimes whenever I go into local yarn stores, sometimes I feel like an outcast because I'm a crocheter. I just feel like they can see it on my forehead that I'm a crocheter. And they're like, hi. It feels uncomfortable. That doesn't happen all the time. And maybe that's just maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one walking in, you know, like I'm an outcast. But sometimes I feel like an outcast. Sometimes I don't feel like I belong. Or sometimes, I don't know, like it'd be nice to be social and connect, but it doesn't happen. And then I'm just kind of like, okay, thanks for letting me look. Bye. But this shopkeep was really awesome. I really feel like we connected, and they were a lot of fun. They showed me things that I didn't see. And I'm just gonna like out of the box tell you like some of my favorite things about this shopkeep. So when I look through all the things and I bought all my things, I'll show them to you in just a minute. I remember I was at this beautiful counter. This was made with buttons, by the way. Like, this is handmade with buttons. These are thousands of buttons. This hello sign. Isn't that amazing? That's like, I don't know. It's amazing. So the shopkeep was like, well, did you find everything you were looking for? Is there anything else I can help you with? And I was like, I really want like some souvenirs, like some swag. Like, I came all the way here. I feel like, you know, it's kind of like going to Disneyland. It's like, I want something that shows people I went to Disneyland, you know? So I'm like, I want something that shows people I came to Jimmy Beans. Like, what do you have here that's branded? And so she was like, hold on, I'll be right back. And she went into the back and she kind of dug around a little bit and she just brought me like a handful of stuff. So she brought me a Jimmy Beans wool, and some of these things you guys can buy on the website, and I've shared links to all these things. So I found this little keychain. It's a wooden sweater and it says Jimmy Beans wool. So it's just kind of this cute thing that I can either put on my keychain or I can put on my project bag, and it's like, look, I did that. I did a thing, right? So it's super cute. I also started collecting enamel pins. I put them on my my whip bags and stuff. So I got a Jimmy Beans enamel, and it just has their logo. Again, click on the link, and you know I've linked it, so if you want to get one, you can get one. They also just celebrated their 20th anniversary recently, so they do not sell these anymore. She just happened to have one for me. It's a 20 years of Jimmy Beans wool measuring tape. So I thought that was pretty special. Like, this is something that not everyone can get, and I super love that. And guys, when I tell you that the next thing I'm going to show you is my favorite souvenir ever, I'm telling you guys it's my favorite souvenir ever. I love it so much. And there's pictures of it too, so you guys can read more about it. She was like, so I have a souvenir, and it's Jimmy Beans logo branded. She's like, these are not like for sale. She's like, it's just something that we have here, and I'm going to give you one. Jimmy Beans wool toilet paper. Like, what? What? They have like, now I feel like I want to work there. Like, I want to be the yarn whisperer, and I want to use Jimmy Beans wool toilet paper when I work in the office. Like, what is that? That's just, I don't know. I thought it was really, it's bizarre. It's adorable. It's inviting. I'm not ever going to use this. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it on my desk and I'll, you know, it'll keep my nose dry or something. I don't know. But I just thought that is the quirkiest, funniest, like weirdest souvenir. And I just absolutely love it. So do me a favor. If you ever go and visit them in person, say, tell them they have to start stocking toilet paper like to sell as souvenirs. That should totally be their new souvenir. Tell them Selena sent you, all right, for the toilet paper. Okay, guys, let's see who else is here. And oh, it looks like Ashley's getting so many happy birthdays. So happy birthday to you, Ashley. Oh, Dawn says beautiful store. Victoria collects pins. I collect pins too. I think it's a really fun thing to collect. And I do put them either on some of my whip bags, or I have some like little Notions cloth bags that I put them on. So it's a fun thing to kind of collect. I like it. Yep, Dawn, toilet paper. Totally. Yep, Victoria's laughing too. Isn't that hysterical? I'm convinced that toilet paper needs to be something that they sell as a souvenir. Like, you know, I went to Jimmy Bean's and all I got was this toilet paper. Like, what? I love it. Anyway, my favorite thing, honestly. Okay, guys, so I walked around Jimmy Bean's. I was there for 2 hours. Look at this. This is why I couldn't find a direction. Look at this. This is just one part of just the entryway whenever you walk in. Just so many different things to look at. So I did buy a couple things. I showed you guys my little notions and my souvenirs. But another entity that I think Jimmy Bean's owns is this bag maker collection called Della. And I haven't seen them in person before. So here, I'll tell you about the yarn. I'll get to that in a minute. But Della is a brand of bags for makers. I've only ever seen them online, I think, but I recently there was just a fiber convention, and I follow Tony Lipsy of TL Yarn Craft, and she went to this convention, and she was talking about the mesh tote that Jimmy Bean's just came out with, and she, you know, I follow her, so I know what she does. I like her jam. And she was talking about this mesh tote. And so I was really excited to see this in person because I was just listening to her talk about it. And they're so new that, like, they weren't even available when she first saw them, right? So they had them in shop, and they have a few different colors, and I got the olive. And I super, super, super love this bag. So I just wanted to tell you guys about this bag. This is called the Mesh Tote. Again, click on the link in the video description and you can get those details. So this is made in this, and this is a sturdy, this is well made. These materials are well made. The stitching is gorgeous. Like, just all of the different pieces that make this bag, just, it's gorgeous. Like, I would walk around this. This would be my day bag. Like, it doesn't just look like, I mean, it is a project bag, but it looks like something I would totally carry out. So this is mainly, just depending on your comfort level, this is mainly, I think, like for the crook of your arm or your hand. It can also kind of fit up on your arm, but it also comes with this detachable, see? It comes with these really nice, look at the hardware. Hardware is so, so beautiful. It comes with this really nice detachable strap. And you can put this on your arm like this, but even this is adjustable right here. So you can do like a crossbody thing if you want. Super love that. And not only that, but there's just lots of different aspects of this bag that I think are really smart. It's pretty, it's this mesh, so you can see, I can see through it, but the mesh isn't so small that nothing's coming out. It's not like that, right? And I think it's even double layer mesh, or it's just really, really thick mesh. I mean, it is very sturdy. So you can see what's in here. So as you're taking your projects with you, as you're taking your yarn with you, you can clearly see what's in it. So you're not like, you don't have to open it to root around to kind of see what's in it. So I think that's really clever. I like it. It's not so see-through like it's just this clear thing, but it's see-through enough that it's just very handy. It's a really large bag. I mean, look at how much room this thing has. You're fitting a lot of yarn into this. I like that it has a square bottom, and just the sturdiness and the stiffness of this. Like, this thing will stand up on its own. I mean, it's in my hand right now, so it's falling, but you can put this like on the ground, and when it has stuff in it, it's going to stand up on its own. It's very sturdy. It's made with this very, I keep saying sturdy, but it's like this waxed cotton is what they call it. So it feels like a canvas, and it's really, at first I thought it was leather. I mean, it kind of looks a little bit like leather and feels like leather, but it's this waxed cotton. So very nice. So in addition to it just being a bag with this detachable handle right here, there's also a clip on the inside right here. And it clips to a pair of scissors that come in this. Here, let me unclip it. Oh, that unclips and that unclips. You can unclip it either way. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so this clips. Let me put it down. And the scissors clip. Okay, So it comes with this pair of scissors. See, this clips too. So you can take it, it clips to the inside. There's a clip on the inside, but this is a clip too. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this is like made with some of the same material, really nice. And then it snaps on in and out of place. And then there's this really beautiful pair of branded Della black little scissors. So nice. I love scissors. So they're just right there in your bag. And then they snap into place, all those buttons. I super love the buttons. And I was thinking about this as I was doing this write-up for the bag. I really love the button closure on this bag. You can see there's quite a few buttons. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I like about that is that not only does it, it allows you to close your bag all the way across. So you can close it a little bit, you can close it all the way. But I really like that they're buttons because I don't want to accidentally zip up my project or my yarn and potentially ruin it a little bit. So it's never going to get snagged. But you can fully close up the bag just with those beautiful buttons. And they just look really nice too. Okay, so on the back of the bag, or the front, I guess whichever way you want to look at it, there is a zipper. And this zipper is fantastic for, look how big this is. You can put a notebook in here. You can put your phone in here. You can put notions in here. You can put some pens. I mean, whatever you want to put in here. And it does zip on the outside. You can put yarn in here if you want to. I mean, I know I just said there's no zipper up top. You don't want to, like, snag your yarn or anything. I mean, you can put yarn in here, but in my opinion, it's so flat and large that, like, you can put an iPad in here. I mean, it will hold some stuff, and then the zipper keeps it closed. So the last thing that this came with was a tiny little project bag. Oh, some other stuff. Hold on. It came with a branded Della weaving needle. Check that out. I mean, just a nice little addition. A little notebook. So cute. And then just here's a little write-up for it. But it came with this little project bag. And what I love about it is that it is mesh on one side, matching the mesh on this bag. And then it's this oil rubbed cotton on the other side in the same color as the bag. And then it also has these button closures. And again, no zipper. So it's like I can get in here, I can get stuff. But, things aren't really coming out. So I think that that's a really smart idea. It does taper up towards the top, so it's thicker on the bottom, and then it tapers up here. So it also is going to hold far more things down here, and they're not going to kind of get lost. So I love it. This is a really beautiful project bag, and I'm so, so, so glad that I got it. Again, when I heard Tony talking about it, and then I just had it in the back of my mind, and when I saw him in person, I was like, yep, that's mine. I'm getting it. Getting it. It's mine. I love it. Wrap it up. Okay. All right. So let me say hey to a few more people before I move on and tell you guys about the yarn in just a second. Oh, let's see. Oh my gosh. So many people. Yep. Angela, toilet paper. Yep. You're welcome, Ashley. Hope you have a great birthday. Dawn says, I just want to move into that store. I'm telling you, it was a great store. I highly recommend it. I thought it was great. Looks like Kathy W is here. Hi, Selena. Missed first part of the live, but so happy to be here now. Hope everyone's having a great long weekend, and to you. Ashley says, I love the bags there. Yeah, so this is just one bag. I looked at some of the other bags, but I was so interested in the mesh tote that I was just like, yep, let's wrap that one up. I love it. But they definitely have other Della bags. I mean, it's a whole entire like brand. So many different lines that you can check out to see if there's another one that you like. Janet, I would love to go to Jimmy Bean's wool. The only wool I've ordered was from Peru. I have some wool from Hobby Lobby, though it's discontinued. I know, I hate when yarn gets discontinued. It hurts my feelings. Janet, love to go to Jimmy Bean's wool. Janet says that's a great bag. Oh, I love it so much. Honestly, so gorgeous. And I haven't even used it yet because I wanted to show it to you guys and take pictures before I used it because that's how beautiful it is. Like, it's so nice. Oh, hello, Linda. So good to see you. Ashley, I am told to get a smaller bag due to issues of my body and not carrying big bags due to the weight of the tools and yarn, etc. Yeah, I hear that, and that's why I have so many different sizes of bags and project bags. I have lots of project bags. I don't think that there's a wrong project bag to get. There's just different kinds and they have different features and stuff like that. Angelica's here. So good to see you. I would have loved to check out this store. Yeah, that's why I did a whole write-up. I loved it so much and I really enjoyed it that I was like, I got to talk about this. I got to tell people about this. And there's my toilet paper. I told you guys. Okay, so let me tell you guys about this yarn, this new yarn. So before I decided to go on this trip and visit the store, I follow Jimmy Bean's Wool on social media. So like I see their updates and stuff like this. And one of the updates that I just saw was that they came out with a new yarn line. And they, were just sharing some of the details of the yarn line. Like, it was like this. It's made from parts of yarn that would normally have just been discarded. But they're high quality pieces of yarn. And I think that when the owner of Jimmy Bean's was out just kind of like sourcing yarn and, touring the mills and stuff like this, they saw that there were parts of yarn, the quality luxury yarns that they typically make. And then there are pieces of that yarn that they're like, and these are the extras. So we just, we toss them. And so the owner of Jimmy Bean's was like, hold on, can we like turn this into a yarn? And then that will be my yarn line. And so I think that that's what they did. So there's a few different types and there's a few different weights. And you can kind of see by this image right here, they've got Harmony and then they've got, hold on. I'm going to get this confused because there's a few different. Yes. Okay. So there's Yarn Citizen Unity Worsted, Yarn Citizen Harmony Worsted. So the different one, they're different simply because of the fiber content. So the Yarn Citizen Unity Worsted is 100% wool. And the Yarn Citizen Harmony Worsted is 50% wool, 50% alpaca. Those are the ones that I got. Just because I love worsted weight yarns. That's kind of, that's my jam. And I really loved the colors that these came in. So these are the colors that I got. I got like this rust color, an apricot color, a tan, and a cream. And they are very, very, very nice. So yeah, so they look beautiful. This apricot one, the Yarn Citizen Harmony Worsted, you can see that can you guys see? It's a little heathered. So it just kind of has, it kind of goes lighter and darker, and then it has just this tiny bit of halo on it. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. And I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with these yet, but I love these colors because I'm a jeans and a t-shirt kind of gal, and these just like beautiful fall colors, and so I decided this would be it. Also, this is a really affordable yarn, totally affordable. So the Unity Worsted is $10 a hank. Last time I checked, you can get all the details on the website. And the Yarn Citizen Harmony Worsted is $14.50 a hank, but you can get all the details whenever you click on over. So I thought that was really, really affordable for it being either 100% wool or 50% wool, 50% alpaca. So definitely check it out. And then I do have some suggestions about what I think you could make with them. So I've linked on over to that. Oh, all right, guys. So this is the yarn that I got. It's a brand new line from Jimmy Bean's Wool. I saw it in person. I have some in hand. I think it is delicious. You can read more about why this yarn is new and different and interesting, and get all of the colors and things like that whenever you click on over. You guys can read more about the Della Maker's Mesh Tote, or you can get one of your own in one of the 4 colors. They have green, the olive green, that's the one that I got, purple, this mustard yellow, and then this kind of garnet red. I don't think you can make a wrong choice. I really loved the green, and so that's why I got that one. You guys cannot snag your own toilet paper, Jimmy Bean's toilet paper right now, but maybe they'll change that. Maybe, it'll be like a thing. That would be fantastic. And that's it. That's it. That's my entire write-up. You guys can read more, see more pictures, get more details. You guys can follow Jimmy Beans and all of the places that they are. Whenever you click on over, you guys can see some projects that I found. And I've got something special down here at the bottom, but it is time sensitive. So click on over to get all of those details, okay? And that's all I got for you guys. So questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, let me know. I'll be here for just a few more minutes. It looks like Natalia's here. Wow, looks like a dream store. I thought so. I had so much fun. It's definitely, if this store was in driving distance, like, you know, even an hour away, I would visit it at least once a month. I mean, I thought it was fantastic. It was really nice. It was really well curated, well put together. It was very inviting. The staff was so nice. It was just absolutely fantastic. Stacy says, great colors. Stacy, any idea what you want to make with them? So I'm definitely going to make an accessory to wear. I have enough to make a wrap that I've probably made 10 times. It's called the Warlock wrap. It's one of my favorite things. You guys can find it at my Selena Baca Crochet store, or if you just search Ravelry for Warlock wrap, you'll find it. That's typically something that I make whenever I have some yarn that I don't know what to do with. But if I don't do that, I think I'm going to make some other kind of winter accessory like that, and maybe like a matching hat. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I have lots of possibilities. I haven't narrowed it down quite yet, though. Let's see. Victoria says, ooh, that's beautiful. Angelica says that is a nice price for a hank, especially for the quality of the content that it is. Yeah, absolutely. Natalia says, beautiful yarn. Angelica says, with Labor Day, several websites have sales. I don't know if they're going to have a sale, but definitely check it out. Whether or not there's a sale, I think it's 100% worth it. Let's see. Deborah, thank you, Selena. Reno is 2.5 hours from me. If you want to make that trip, tell them I sent you. Maybe they'll give you some toilet paper too, just for showing up. I don't know. Oh my gosh, one thing I totally forgot. One totally unexpected thing. So whenever I was touring around the yarn shop, again, they didn't know, I didn't call ahead. I didn't say, hey, look who I am. You know, I'm not anybody. I'm just a person who likes yarn, you know, and I happen to have a website or two. So when I was kind of looking around the store and I saw that they had the Yarn Citizen line, I was like, that bag looks familiar. But I was like, that looks familiar. Did they, maybe it's not my pattern. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, it looks like my pattern. But I didn't see any identifiers or anything like that. Like it's not tagged and, you know, or anything like that. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Let me take a picture. Okay. And then when I was checking out, I was chatting with the shopkeep and, you know, it came into, yeah, I'm Selena Baca. I'm with the American Crochet Association. I'm Selena Baca Crochet. And I was like, yeah, that's my bag. Like you guys crocheted my bag, I think. I think I saw it over there. That's my sample. Or you know, that's my pattern that you made a sample of. And so the shopkeep was like, oh my gosh, the person who made that is just upstairs. Like, I think they're in our marketing department or something. Let me go get him so they can say, hey. And they came downstairs and they were like, oh, you know, I liked your bag and it was so great. And it works great for the yarn and everything. And so I just thought that was such a nice surprise. It doesn't happen often that I kind of see my patterns like out in the wild. And so that was just, and again, whenever I saw it, I was like, that looks just like, but it's probably not my bag. No, it's probably not. I don't know. Maybe it's, but it is. So it was just so nice to see that, like, you know, Jimmy Beans Wool just came out with this new yarn. They're trying to promote it. And they thought one of the best ways to promote it was working it up with my hexagon market tote. So I was really just so proud to see that. I love that bag. It's one of my favorite bags, and I'm so glad that they saw it and thought it would really represent this new yarn line. So thanks, Jimmy Beans. I really liked that. And I loved getting to meet the person who actually worked it up and said that they liked it. So that was really special too. So anyway, I wrote more about that, and you can read more about that whenever you click on over. Loved it. Stacy, super ideas. Janet, I'm going to go online to Jimmy Beans Wool and check them out. Yeah, click on the link in the video description. It's going to take you to this post and tell you everything that I've outlined, and really just kind of help you fine tune the different areas, or fine tune where the different areas are that I talked about. That way, if you want to if you want to find directly the products I'm telling you guys about, like the Yarn Citizen yarn or the Della bag or anything like that, or all of the different little souvenirs that I got, I've linked them all right there. There's also some things that I think are really interesting on the website, like that scholarship that I told you about, the Broken Needle program. So definitely click on over and check that out. They've got that project. What did they call it? Project tracker? Project sketchbook. I had a lot of fun playing around with that. So definitely check that out too, because that was a lot of fun. All right, guys, that's it. That was my trip to Jimmy Bean's yarn shop. It's not just a global online yarn retailer. They also have a storefront. This was a totally unexpected thing that I'm even telling you guys about. It was just something that I was just going to go do because I dig yarn and I like visiting yarn stores. But it was such a great experience and I got such great things. And, you know, everybody at Jimmy Bean's was so nice and warm and welcoming. And I just, every time I learned something more about Jimmy Bean's, I liked the experience and the people and the company even more. So it just made me want to tell everybody about it. So I dug it. If you guys go and visit them, let them know that I sent you. Ask for the toilet paper. I think that's hysterical. I'm sorry. And if you guys want to check out Jimmy Bean's wool online, click the link in the video description. If you guys dug this video, tag a crochet or yarn loving friend in the comments and maybe share this video in just one place that you enjoy yarn or crochet if you think they will dig it too. All right? Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for making this a fun conversation. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you guys find some things that you love as well. All right? Peace, love, crochet, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.